Hey everybody, Leespeed here. We're on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization again because Spirit Beasts have more cards. Yeah, there's more stuff today, which is pretty cool because obviously I do a video on this stuff and obviously you're seeing it now, but you know, not when I'm commentating, but you're going to be seeing it when this goes up. But yeah, it's been a while since I've actually done a video, but I don't know, I just haven't really felt like making one. And yeah, I just haven't felt like going on Dueling Network either. So what do? I mean, I just follow what I can. I mean, for people wondering, yes, I'm well aware of the recent Mega Evolutions. And yes, a particular one has definitely caught my fancy. And I'm very happy to see that he's got a Mega Evolution. Well, you know, I kept my expectations pretty low just because, I don't know, I mean, I'd be devastated if I got my hopes up, you know what I mean? It's kind of like with Smash Brothers. People had their hopes up for such and such things and they didn't get it. And yeah, I mean, talk about people going apeshit about this stuff. You know, worst roster ever or something like that. I don't know. It's just weird because honestly, I look at that roster and it's like, this is like one of the best rosters I've ever seen. Like flat out. But, you know, it is what it is. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Noble Spirit Beast Rampenta. Now, this guy, he might look familiar. And why might that be, you ask? Well, it's because he looks like this guy over here. In Pilica Descendent of Gusto's artwork, she has this little penguin friend with her. Now, I mean, I suppose it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? And I mean, basically, and since a lot of these Noble Spirit Beast monsters happen to be like Elder of the Spirit Beasts is Kamui Hope of Gusto, this would basically be like an older version of that penguin Gusto from Pilica's artwork. So it's very interesting indeed. And something I should probably note about this particular card is that this card is not in Booster SP Tribe Force. Instead, it's actually in Secrets of Evolution, the core set after New Challengers. In fact, along with one of the Hermit Yukai monsters and one of the Neckcloth monsters. These three particularly are in a core set in the OCG, so we'll eventually get these cards. But as far as like the other ones from Triforce, not sure when that's gonna be. But we at least know that eventually we'll get this, and this, and I guess whatever other Neckcloth, Spirit Beast, and Hermit Yukai cards in the set, whatever else are in that set, we'll get those too. But yeah, anyways, enough about that. Let's actually go over this guy's effect because I've been holding off on doing that for a while. So, he is a Wind Beast effect, level 4, 1600 attack, 400 defense. Makes sense to me. You can only special summon one Noble Spirit Beast Rampenta per turn. Once per turn, you could banish one Spirit Beast monster from your deck. And if you do, send one Spirit Beast monster with the same type as that banished monster from your deck to the graveyard. Okay, so that's not bad at all. Because you might think, well, banishing a Spirit Beast fuels your fusion monsters because obviously they can bring back banished, you know, Spirit Beasts. But what I like about this is that he sets up your graveyard. The graveyard for Spirit Beast Tamer Lera, who obviously could bring back a Spirit Beast monster from your graveyard when normal summoned. So this guy can pretty much get the graveyard set up right off the bat. And he has decent attack. I mean, most of these monsters had mediocre attack stats except like, you know, Sacred Spirit Beast Mount Apelio. And I mean, you have to get them out by using 2 Spirit Beast monsters. So by themselves, they don't have anything that's even remotely a decent sized monster. And this is one of them. So yeah, you banish a guy and then send another one that happens to be the same type. Now, on the Wikia, like before I saw, like I went on the Wikia first because I mean I just happened to go there. The card actually said, at the time, it actually said you could banish one Spirit Beast monster from your extra deck. Now, obviously, I don't know which is technically correct. I mean, this could be correct or the other one might be correct. But I mean, you might think it might not make that much of a difference, but it kind of can, but not too drastic. I guess it just depends on what you're deciding to banish at the time. But I suppose it would make sense if you're banishing if you banish one of the fusions, because you would send one of the components to the graveyard from the deck, basically. And I guess that's kind of how it would be, I guess. So, yeah, Penguin Dude, pretty cool. Not sure how many I'd run yet, because, I mean, we still have yet to know more stuff. Heck, he might have a fusion just like the others. And we're going to skip this stuff. So there's a better picture of Elder the Spirit Beast Tamers, you know, and better colors and stuff like that. And, of course, the Sacred Spirit Beast Mount Kannahawk. So, yeah, you have better quality pictures of them now, so that's cool. And now we have our second card. And, yeah, there's actually only two, but these are very interesting, so that's why I'm kind of going over them anyways. Noble Spirit Beast Kannahawk. Yeah, so remember what I said? I talked about how we obviously needed this guy was obviously by himself as a monster, and yes, he is. So he's a Wind Thunder effect, level 4, 1600 attack, 600 defense. It says you can only special summon one Noble Spirit Beast Kannahawk per turn. Once per turn, you can banish one Spirit Beast card from your deck. During your second standby phase after activating this effect, add that banished card to your hand. So right off the bat, you guys may know it. This effect is very similar to Gold Sarcophagus. Gold Sarcophagus lets you banish a card from your deck face up, and then on your second standby phase, you get to add that banished card to your hand. Now, obviously, it has the same weakness, I guess, that you have to wait a couple of turns. But what I like about this, and this is what I really like about it, is that potentially he could set up a future play or two. And plus, he could get any Spirit Beast card that you want. It could be a monster, a spell, or a trap. So in a couple of turns, you'll get that card. And heck, if you have multiple copies on the field, you can kind of activate multiple copies. But even if you hit it down to the most simplest of plays, you could banish Spirit Beast Tamer Lera. So then in 2 turns, he'll probably be in the grave because he has moderately low attack. You could just bring him back with Lera and go for one of your fusion monsters. So it's definitely has potential, and I definitely like where it's going. You have a guy that banishes one from the deck to get later, and you have Mr. Penguin Dude over here, who's kind of like a foolish burial for Spirit Beast monsters, but you have to banish another one, whether from the main deck or I guess extra deck. I don't know which it actually happens to be. I don't know which is correct. But basically, you'll be dumping one to set up future plays, so it's nice because banishing also kind of fuels, you know, it also fuels your Sacred Spirit Beast Mount Kannahawk, because he basically puts, I think it was 2 or 3 back into the graveyard, and then you could search for a Spirit Beast card. So you're kind of fueling multiple cards at the same time with the Penguin, and then obviously you're getting a card in the future with Kannahawk, regular Kannahawk. So there's definitely potential. And again, we don't, and yes, this actually confirms that it is Elder of the Spirit Beast riding him, and I figured that's the case. But yeah, there's still more to come because, to be honest, I mean, there's still a few we don't even know about. Heck, like, remember like I said with Petolfin, it was like, does the dolphin have a fusion? Well, he had one, and maybe this guy does too, I don't know. And what's her name? That was on the artwork of Sacred Spirit Beast Mount Petolfin, the girl that was riding the dolphin. She's another monster as well, so we have yet to know what she does. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. Kind of a shorter video, but I don't know. I think these are definitely going to be very helpful cards because they fuel several different engines at the same time. And the reason I kind of didn't go over cards you could tech with this deck is because, I don't know, I just feel like I would probably go over that in a separate video, like when I actually make a deck list or something like that. I mean, there's obvious stuff like Chaos Zone and Dimensional Fissure and stuff like that, because these guys don't particularly mind being banished, although it can kind of screw up some of the plays that you have. Like with the Penguin, you're obviously not going to be able to dump something to the graveyard with macros up. So yeah, just keep in mind like what you have in play when you use them. But yeah, a card like Chaos Zone would be great just because Chaos Zone gains a counter or 2 for each time you banish a monster. So obviously when you banish these guys to summon your fusion monsters, you're going to get a counter for each time you do that. And obviously it's going to have multiple effects based on how many you banish and that you remove. And when it's destroyed, it also has an effect based on how many counters you have on it. So there's definitely potential, but to be honest though, when we're looking at out of these 3 archetypes that have a lot of potential, these guys, these Necklaws, because this thing is amazing. This basically, this is like a ritual that lets you can use your extra deck monsters. Like you can use your extra deck monsters as tribute. That's kind of crazy actually. So that's pretty crazy. And then this guy's kind of like one of the Gishki monsters that count themselves as an entire tribute. Shadow and Vision. Like this guy is basically like Gishki Vision and Gishki Shadow, you know, in one card, because he basically does the same thing, and he obviously gets stuff. So yeah, these archetypes have a lot of promise, because yeah, they all have something very distinctive going on here. We got these Hermit Yukais that work with pendulums, and they kind of act like spirit monsters. And we have Spirit Beasts that focus on fusion summoning by banishing monsters on the field, or banishing cards to activate certain effects, or putting banished Spirit Beast cards to the graveyard to do something. So yeah, it's pretty cool, because yeah, we can see some 3 potentially very interesting decks, and heck, I'm very excited to see what they do. And then before one of them gets overly broken and people start complaining about it, because I mean that's kind of how it goes, right? I mean, I'm already worried about the Necklaws, and that was just from a few cards I saw early on before, you know, when I was doing my discussion on these guys from the beginning. But yeah, it's very interesting. So let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. And oh yeah, and that's Gishki Amelia. Don't ask me how I know that. I just know, okay? Because even though I haven't done videos with them, I have played them. So I mean, I at least know like the monsters and stuff like that. So, and that is obviously Necklaw the Gungnir. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of this new stuff, and I'll leave a link in the description because that's what I like to do. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.